Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, Star Wars Squadrons players got some exciting news. AMD launched their new GPUs, Cold War's MP5 problem has been fixed, and much more. EA Motive are rolling out 2 content updates for Star Wars Squadrons following an outcry for support from players. Squadrons was originally intended as a complete package that the studio would launch and move on from, but it's proven to be wildly successful, smashing their sales expectations while also cultivating a very vocal player base hungry for more content. I even asked for more content from the game in my review. Now there will be 2 significant updates for Squadrons. The first launches this month and adds a new map called Star Haven and new ship components. Star Haven appeared in the game's single-player campaign and was highly requested by players as a multiplayer map. The new components include a boost extension kit, ion rockets, prototype piercing torpedoes, and an anti-material rocket turret. Each class of ship is getting 1 new ability. The second update will launch in December. It'll be the final update for the year and adds 2 new starfighters, the Rebel B-Wing and the Imperial TIE Defender. Custom matches are also being added in December to give players a way of setting up their own games. A server browser will be available to find these matches. Players can also use this system to create private matches just for friends or tournaments. It's great to see a game like Squadrons getting this kind of support. Squadrons bucked the live service model, delivered a compelling and complete experience on day 1, and players were overjoyed with it. In a time where it seems like every other game is launching with bright promises and little in the way of meaningful content at launch, games like Squadrons are a breath of fresh air. And personally, if I could have added any 2 new ships to the game, it would have been the B-Wing and the TIE Defender. So that sounds awesome. It's unclear if Squadrons will continue getting support into 2021. The core development team has already moved on to another project, and while I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, it wouldn't shock me if this new content has been put in production already in anticipation of the game doing well enough to justify DLC. AMD promised some big gains when they revealed their Radeon 6000 series GPUs a few weeks ago. Review embargoes have lifted and the cards are now available for order. The good news is, those claims seem to align with reality. In benchmarks with ray tracing off, AMD's GPUs match or outperform comparable NVIDIA GPUs. However, it's not a universal lead, and I think it's safer to say that AMD have really just matched NVIDIA's performance this time around. NVIDIA takes a strong lead, however, in titles that support ray tracing, especially ones that also support NVIDIA's DLSS upscaling option. No one, including AMD, expected their first stab at ray tracing to blow NVIDIA out of the water, but it's just one of many areas AMD are lagging behind the competition. When it comes to production workloads, NVIDIA holds a commanding lead when compared to Big Navi. So for video editors and 3D animators, NVIDIA is probably the go-to graphics card. For streamers and YouTubers, AMD's hardware video encoder is nowhere near the quality of CPU encoding and noticeably worse than NVIDIA's NVNC encoder. And then finally, there's the software ecosystem. Team Green offers AI-powered audio noise reduction, webcam background removal, and a bunch of other really useful features. AMD doesn't offer anything besides standard in-game recording tools and automatic overclocking utilities. That said, they are working on their own version of DLSS, which will probably give their gaming benchmarks a big boost. But for now, it's still tough to recommend Big Navi for anyone but die-hard gamers. And even then, NVIDIA has better pricing and potentially even better availability. Regardless though, right now, getting a new GPU from either company is nearly impossible. But some retailers are reporting even worse AMD supply availability at launch than they did with NVIDIA's product launches. Call of Duty Cold War has had a pretty major multiplayer balance issue with the MP5, that is until today. Compared to all other weapons in the game, the MP5 dominated. Now, it's pretty normal for a handful of guns and attachments to be overwhelmingly popular in a new COD title. Treyarch were holding off on any significant tweaks to the game until Season 1 launches in December, but the MP5 was so OP that they just rolled out an update that reduces its max damage range by 33%. A big balance update will debut with Season 1, so it sounds like the MP5 Nerfed was a special effort in response to feedback. Rainbow Six Siege just got a major update that reworks our Lord of Manliness, Tachanka. He can now shoot his high-powered LMG without mounting it. He's even been given a grenade launcher secondary that can bounce shots off of walls. His new elite skin also lives up to the Rule 34 Tachanka memes, making him shirtless and suitably ripped. Overall, the rework is a welcome one, if a little bit of an overhyped one. The changes aren't super dramatic, but they should have a positive impact on his pick rate. Hitman developers IO Interactive are revealing a new game tomorrow on the 20th anniversary of their legendary franchise. Hitman 3 has already been announced for January, so it's unlikely that they'll be revealing Hitman 4 anytime soon. IO went independent following the launch of Hitman 2 when their parent company was looking to sell them off. They maintained the rights to the Hitman franchise and continued development on it. Kane and Lynch is IO's only other notable franchise. The announcement for tomorrow's reveal doesn't offer much to go on, so it could be a brand new IP. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is officially the franchise's biggest launch ever. Ubisoft revealed the game smashed day one player count numbers for the franchise, but they've since confirmed its first week of sales hit an all-time record. That's both retail and digital sales, with it being their best-selling PC launch ever. Valhalla must have sold well over 3.5 million copies to set these records, as that's what the franchise's previous bestseller Assassin's Creed 3 did. To put that into context how well Valhalla is doing, it held the top spot for UK sales when a new Call of Duty title launched. That literally hasn't happened in 13 years. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan says Sony aren't worried about their new console's limited storage capacity. In a time where the average AAA title is over 100 gigabytes and the consoles don't even have a 1 terabyte usable space, it's pretty bold of them to be unfazed. Unlike the Xbox Series consoles, the PlayStation 5 is compatible with off-the-shelf PCIe Gen 4 SSDs. Users are waiting for a list of approved models, but once that list is released, there will be a huge demand for PlayStation 5 compatible SSDs. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Many people are probably already running low on available space between all of this year's high-profile releases. In our final story today, Apple are caving to the pressure of Epic's Fortnite crusade. They've announced a rework of their revenue split that reduces fees for developers making less than $1 million in annual revenue. For devs that qualify, the fee will drop from 30% to 15%. That is a monumental shift in policy that will benefit the vast majority of app developers. A 30% cut has been the industry standard for a long time now, but Epic made a big splash by offering developers 88% of the revenue for their titles on the Epic Game Store. And while that meager 12% fee has several asterisks associated with it and is often contingent with exclusivity, it was still a great move that benefited smaller game developers. Epic has campaigned against many companies, Apple and Valve included, saying the 30% take is absurd. It's been a critical talking point in their lawsuit against Apple over the ban of Fortnite. Apple banned the game because Epic added in-game payment systems that bypassed Apple's fee. Since then, they've gone back and forth in a very public battle of uber-wealthy brands. However the legal battle ultimately pans out, it's at least had one positive effect on Apple's business practices so far. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what story you thought was the most interesting in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.